STARBORN. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. If you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you would already know that the title of tonight's show is Coming Home. And that idea of coming home can be on all of our minds right now, because as you approach the holidays, which we're coming up on, you may be thinking about coming home to a family member or going to visit friends, or perhaps they're coming to visit you. But that isn't the kind of coming home that I'm really talking about. What I'm talking about is that the way the planets are beautifully set up now in a grand trine in water signs, this is a wonderful time for every single one of us to come home to ourselves. And so we can all be in really good touch with our feelings right now, because today the sun is in Scorpio, a fixed financial sign, but a water sign, and all the water signs are healing and they deal with our emotions. So the sun in Scorpio is trining two very powerful planets. The moon is in Cancer today, and the moon rules Cancer, so it's extremely strong there. And that sun in Scorpio is also trining Neptune in Pisces, and Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. And so we see with these three strong planets in water signs that a lot of people can be thinking about coming home to some way that they can make their lives a little bit more cozy and comfortable. And so I'm not talking about big grand gestures right now, but I am thinking that this is a time as we approach the holidays when we might want to get a little bit more comfortable just with ourselves. And you know, that doesn't take a lot of money. It just takes an idea of getting to know yourself and being in touch with your emotions so that you can feel more safe and secure and perhaps happier. And I think that that is what we all could have on our minds right now. And yet, with the moon in Cancer, that is, the moon rules Cancer, there can also be the possibility of an ending right now, because Cancer does rule the traditional fourth house of home and last half of life, or endings. But Cancer rules good endings, and particularly with the moon there, because that's its ruler. And so there is the possibility right now that you can be thinking about coming home to trying to make your life a little happier and more comfortable, because you realize that there is a certain phase of your life now that you have perhaps outgrown, or that you're just sort of tired of, and that is what can be ending. So if one phase of your life is ending, there is the possibility that if it ends, you would then be ready to make some sort of new beginning. What kind would it be? Well, it would be based on the things that Pisces rules. Pisces rules dreams, and that moon in Cancer and the sun in Scorpio are both, and they're the lights, they're both trining Neptune in Pisces. Neptune has been retrograde for 5 months. You know, that's a lot of this year. And it will go direct in a few days. And since it does rule dreams, there is the possibility that one phase of your life can be ending, because you may want to start a new phase of your life based on a dream that you have, or on some sort of secret longing or desire. And maybe you're feeling that, well, you're sort of ready for that now. And so this is a good time to be thinking about that. Both an ending and a new beginning, even if it is based on a dream, have something to do with money though, because those two planets trine the sign of Scorpio, where the sun is right now. And Scorpio also rules survival. So you may be thinking that you want to end one phase of your life because that isn't the way you want to survive anymore. And so it's okay if you say goodbye to that, because as you start something else that you've always wanted or desired or had a secret longing for, you may be thinking that that's a better way for you to survive, and you could be right about that. And so that your choices now could be rather easy choices. And they could be choices where you simplify things in your life, not when you complicate them, but when you sort of settle down to what or who is really important to you. And that would be, this is a wonderful time to be thinking about that. However, life can get in the way, and it certainly could be doing that now, because there are 5 planets in a grand cross among the cardinal signs. And so that moon in Cancer, which is a cardinal sign, and remember the moon is very strong, is being opposed by both Venus and Pluto in Capricorn. And so Capricorn rules the 10th house of career, and Cancer rules the 4th house of home. And so there can be, you can be feeling as if you're pulled in different directions right now. Maybe you want to be home for the holidays, but you also have to have an eye on your career as well. And those two things are not compatible because you can't be in 2 places at once. Also, those 3 planets are being squared by Jupiter in Libra and also by Uranus in Aries. So those are the 5 planets in a grand cross. So not only can you be feeling as if you're getting pulled in different directions, but you may be feeling as if there are certain challenges or pressure on you right now. And that pressure can be building up by people who want you to sort of follow their rules or do things their way. But that might be the price you have to pay to make a dream come true. I mean, we all have to go through certain steps, and we do have to follow certain courses of action in order to reach a goal. So that may create pressure, but if you're getting a little bit more in touch with yourself and you're coming home to what really makes you happy and can result in a simpler lifestyle, I think it would be all right. If you're going for what really makes you happy, or whoever makes you happy, then it's okay if you sort of have to follow somebody else's rules as well, because that could be the road to happiness for you instead. And with Mercury and Saturn in Sagittarius trining that Uranus in Aries, there can be some sort of sudden breakthrough that could speed your progress toward your goal of coming home to yourself in a way that makes you feel safe and secure and happy. So this is a wonderful time to really get in touch with your feelings right now, because whatever you're doing or feeling could be exactly right for you. Okay, what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, this is a time when I think, since yours is a cardinal sign and there are 5 planets in a grand cross in cardinal signs, when you can be feeling as if you're being pulled in different directions, and also you may be feeling some pressure from others about you having to conform to their rules or their schedules, or even if it involves an employer, you might have to conform to the possibility of mergers and acquisitions or changes in budget that could affect you. So I think you are under a little bit of pressure. It's not bad pressure though. It's not like it was earlier this year, because I mean, Venus is squaring your sun, but it's a great planet. It's just that there can be a little pressure in relationships for you right now, but there can also be the possibility of news at a distance, or from someone who's at a distance, and that news could result in some sudden breakthrough that could be wonderful for you. So it's important even for you to really be thinking about getting in touch with your feelings. Aries usually like to be very active and just be doing things all the time. But this is a time to be a little more introspective and ask yourself who and what can make you happy. And so maybe you can cut out a few things in your life, Aries, and settle down a little bit. And that really may make you happier in the long run. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, this is a time when I think the pressure that you're under is because that sun in Scorpio is still opposing your sun sign, which means that the cost of something can be going up, not down. And if your salary isn't going up, then you could have budget problems. And Mars in Aquarius is squaring your sun sign, Taurus, and that simply means that there is some cloud over your future plans, or some trouble connected with your future plans. You could be not too certain about them right now. And it wouldn't be because of you, Taurus. It would be because of changes around you. Maybe somebody else's future plans are in question instead, but that can cause you a little bit of worry. And so your long-range plans are looking really good, particularly your long-range investments, but you're still going to have higher costs right now. And if your current salary or your current income is not meeting the higher costs, then this would be a very good time for you to look for, say, a better job, or for you to sell some investments so that you could have a little more ready cash. So you could think about that. That might be a way to sort of come home to yourself and make yourself a little happier. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, this is a time when I think as you're going into the holidays, you are going to be very, very busy. And that is because Mars is an energetic, passionate planet, and it is in Aquarius, trining your sun, and Jupiter, which is a planet of benevolence and goodness, is in Libra, and it too is trining your sun. So you are really going to be, you probably won't have a moment to spare this holiday season, Gemini, as you make plans for the future, or as other people sort of push you into the future in one way or another. And then there are still going to be others that just want to join you. Maybe you've got a great idea, and that can be very appealing to a lot of people, but it can really take up your time as well. So you're going to be quite active this holiday season, and I think that you're really going to love it. But my advice to you is try to find ways that you can come home to yourself and feel more secure and happy doing simpler things, because I think your schedule is going to be a little bit rushed, but you should still allow some quiet time for yourself if you can. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, this is a time that is wonderful for you because the moon is in your sign today, and it rules your sign, and it is trining the sun in Scorpio and also Neptune in Pisces, and Neptune will go direct in a few days. So I think you're going to have the money to make a dream come true, Cancer. But remember, I said your sign rules endings. And so there is also an ending on your horizon, and I think it's one that you are very ready for, Cancer. I think that within yourself, as you come home to yourself now, and to what can make you feel safe and secure and happy, I think that you really don't need quite everything that you have in your life now, or everything that you're doing. And I think after a lot of long thinking about it, you are really ready to end one phase of your life and perhaps begin another one, but you may not even be in a big rush to begin that. It's just something that can be challenging you right now or pulling you in different directions. But basically, this is a wonderful time for you to simplify your life and just come home to what really just makes you happy. I think it's your turn, Cancer. And so I hope that you have a very happy holiday and that it is a cozy and simple one. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, this is a time when your future too can be sort of up in the air. And the reason why is that Mars in Aquarius is opposing your sun sign, and the sun in Scorpio is squaring your sun sign, so there are definitely some financial problems that you need to face. And one of them could just be that we're entering the holidays and everything is pretty expensive, and you could have your eyes on something pretty pricey. Your sign does rule extravagance, Leo. So you're going to have to be real careful to stay within your budget. And this too is a really good time for you to be thinking a little bit more about home and family and just doing simple, cozy things, because that moon in Cancer is right behind your sun sign. So there's a lot of light in the background of your life, Leo, and it should be focusing on ways that you can sort of make yourself quietly happy over the holidays. And that doesn't take a lot of money. It just takes you coming home to yourself and asking yourself, what makes you happy? And then just doing that instead. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is a time when I think that there can be news from a distance or word from people at a distance that can put a little bit of pressure on you. And that is because Mercury and Saturn in Sagittarius are squaring your sun. And you may not know who to believe because Neptune in Pisces is opposing your sun sign. And so you have to be cautious this holiday season, and that also means you should be a little bit cautious with your budget as well. And be sure that you're doing everything that is legally correct, or else don't do anything at all. In other words, don't take any risks, Virgo. But Venus and Pluto in Capricorn are trining your sun, which means that just like Taurus, your long-term prospects are looking just great. And you can be the favorite of somebody who is higher up in management or in a position of authority, and they can be very, very good to you. And so I would sort of try to rub elbows with the higher ups right now, Virgo, because you could be very popular this Christmas season with them. They like the way you work. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, this is simply a time when, of course, as we enter the holidays, you can be full of good cheer and want the best for everybody because Jupiter is in your sign for the first time in 12 years. So you really are in a good mood, I think, Libra. But you can still be feeling the pressure from these 5 planets in a grand cross in cardinal signs. And so you may have to sort of reconfigure some sort of new start that you want to make, because you'll have to do it a little bit more according to other people's wishes or according to their rules and regulations or their schedules. And so you'll have to sort of conform to that. But yours is a very good sign because it rules compromise. And so I think you will have to make some compromises. But as long as you're also thinking about coming home to yourself, and as long as you don't let yourself get pulled in too many different directions during these hectic holiday times, you should be able to make yourself happy. You could be pressured also by people who are very passionate and enthusiastic about the future, and they want you to join them. So you can't say yes to everybody, Libra. That's the point. You still have to make a little bit of quiet time for yourself, as it's so important right now for people to just come home to what they really feel makes them feel safe and secure and happy. So leave some room in your busy schedule for that, Libra, if you can. Okay, what does it mean to Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, this is a time when I think your future too can be looking pretty uncertain, and that is because Mars in Aquarius, and Aquarius rules the future, and Mars is your own ruler, is squaring the sun in your sign. So the thing that can be looking a little bit uncertain is something that has to do with a financial matter or financial costs or plans of some sort. And so there can be pressure on you from that. And if I were you, I wouldn't push the envelope right now because your own ruler is squaring your sun sign. So you are not aspected to be able to force your way into the future that you want right now, but that isn't what's really important. What's really important right now is that people have a chance to come home to themselves, and that's what you should be doing too, Scorpio, because after all, the moon in Cancer is trining your sun, and Neptune in Pisces is also trining your sun, and Neptune is about to go direct. So if there is a dream that you have or some secret longing or hidden desire, then you may be able to concentrate a little bit more on that. You might have more time for that now. And certainly this is an excellent time for you to be thinking of the simple things in life. And remember, that doesn't cost money. It simply means that this is a time when one thing in your life or one phase of your life is ending, Scorpio. And you may want to make a new beginning, but you may be uncertain about your future plans right now. And all I'm saying is that's not such a bad thing. You know, the holidays, we all sort of have to stop and do other things that pertain to the holidays. So give yourself some time until after the first of the year before you make up your mind about that dream that you might follow instead. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarius? Well, Sagittarius, remember I said that the Mercury and Saturn in your sign are trining Uranus in Aries, and that can indicate some sort of news that can prompt a breakthrough that can speed progress toward a change right now. And it could be a sudden change, but that could be all right. The real progress that we should all be speeding toward is trying to come home to what really makes each one of us feel safe and secure and happy. And it's different for every person. And so you should be thinking about that, Sagittarius, because this is an important time for you to focus a little bit more on not only what you can afford or cannot afford, but for you to realize that you just can't stick your head in the sand and keep referring to the past. Saturn is the planet of tradition and of the past, and it's in your sign. You have to open yourself up to new ways of solving problems or new ways of coping with different opportunities. And so it takes a little while for people to come home to themselves and realize that some phase of our lives in one way or another is ending and another one can be beginning. It doesn't have to be simultaneous though. One phase does have to end, and there is something in your life that has to end right now, Sagittarius, and I think it's a tendency to cling to the past. You don't need to burst forward right now, but you've got to quit saying that there's only one way to do it or to think, and instead open yourself up to other possibilities if you can. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is a time when you too do need to come home to yourself, but that can be a little hard because yours is a business sign and you can be happily focused on your career ambitions right now because Venus is in your sign along with Pluto. And so you may be very focused on something that you'd absolutely love to do that is connected with a career choice of yours right now. But yours is a cardinal sign, so there is pressure from 5 planets in cardinal signs right now. And so I really think that you may have to reconfigure a new start in one way or another and have it conform a little bit more to others' wishes right now. That may not be what you had in mind, but I think due to the pressure that can be on you from others, if you want your career to go forward, you are going to have to do it somebody else's way at the moment, but that's all right. You can charm the birds out of the trees right now, Capricorn, because Venus is in your sign. So if you're not getting everything your way right now, at least you can be very charming about that, and that could pay off in the long run as well. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, Mars is in your sign, and that simply means that you can really be all fired up and ready to charge forward right now. But I urge you not to do that, Aquarius, or try to put the brakes on a little bit, because even though you may want to pick up new partners and charge forward aggressively now right toward your future, I think you are facing money problems in one way or another. And it can just be that it's the holidays and, things are expensive at the holidays. But the Sun in Scorpio is squaring Mars in your sign. And so if there is an element that has to do with justice or survival, and also with your future, it can be a little bit iffy right now, and I urge you not to take any risks, Aquarius. Just stick with people who can be very charming partners right now, and that is because Jupiter in Libra is trining your Sun. So there's a possibility that there can be a favorable legal outcome to something, but I really wouldn't push too hard on anybody right now, particularly not if it regards anything that has to do with money. Just take it easy. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, this is a wonderful time for you because the Sun in Scorpio is trining your Sun, and the Moon in Cancer is also trining your Sun, and Neptune in your own Sun sign is about to go direct in 3 days. And that means you are on the verge of being able to make a dream come true, Pisces. But remember, you're on the verge of it. I don't think it's actually happening at the moment, but it can be unfolding in front front of you, or the opportunity for you to come home to yourself and to something that makes you feel a little more safe and secure and happy, personally happy. In other words, you may be able now to focus a little bit more on what makes you, or who makes you really happy. And the kind of happiness I'm talking about is contentment. I don't mean something grand and glorious. I mean something that just makes you feel quietly satisfied or calm. And that kind of happiness comes from within. And that's what you can achieve right now, Pisces. So I wish you the best of luck. All right, thanks for tuning in. Remember, you can see the show anytime you want by subscribing to it on our website, starborninstitute.org. Bye.